his waffles. Maple syrup dripping from his fake roll. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems that he should.
Hi, everybody. Welcome out to the Logroom Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, April the 23rd, 2024. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. How are you doing, Mr. Beer Samurai?
Sorry, I'm trying to clear some stuff here.
You're trying to clear some stuff there?
Well, it is national. It's International Nose Picking Day.
Oh, it's yes. Happy International Nose Picking Day.
It's
not nose blowing day. It's nose picking day.
And the thing is, did you get to pick your nose? I didn't get to. I'm
I
stuck with
did
the
not
one I
pick
got.
my nose. The one. Yeah, this is the original. I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to the plastic surgeon and go. I'll take the Meg Ryan.
No.
Well,
the current. Well, it depends, right? You know, I don't think Meg Ryan's.
No, not the current one. No, not the current one.
Well, I don't think either one of them would look good on me. That's my point.
No, you don't know that.
That's true.
They got that AI stuff now.
That's true. We could try it out beforehand. See how it looks.
See how it works.
See how it looks. It was works and looks.
Yes, it works. That worked better though.
See how it looks.
No, see how it works. Well, just remember, it's not how you pick a nose; it's what you do with the booger.
It's what you do with it after you're done. Yes.
This is the one thing I've never understood. One of the places, like most people feel that it's safe to pick your nose, clean out, is in the bathroom. But it's like when you're in a public restroom, as a last place you want to be able to have clear air coming through your olfactory senses. It just
you don't want to.
But you're not going to go and do it in the clean air where everyone else can watch you doing it.
This is very true.
So
very true. Yeah. Unless you go out in like the woods or something, nobody's there.
Yeah,
it's just you, yourself, and you're
picking your nose, taking a leak.
Right. Any of the above.
At the same time.
Somebody a commercial came on one of the reels on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it was the other day, and it was Johnson Power Motors, right? For like fishing boats, Johnson Power Motors. But the commercial was, and this is a real commercial, wasn't a joke.
Korean Evermood's competition.
Right. But it was guys. Every scene of the commercial was a guy on a boat doing something, right? So he was out there with his buddies, and it said, "You, your friends, and your Johnson."
You, your friends, and your Johnson.
And then he's out there with his family. You, your family, and your Johnson.
Yeah.
Right. But the last one is this, and finally, and he's just out there by himself fishing. He says, "You,
your Johnson, and your Johnson.
You yourself and your Johnson."
You yourself. It should have been you yourself, your Johnson, and your Johnson.
There you
go. Anyway,
I thought that was funny. But anyway, it's like late 70s, early 80s commercial. I think it was. How did that? I mean, obviously they knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah. There was, some of the ads from back in the day, what they got away with.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that now. I mean, seriously, it's everything's got to be nice and kind and equal. That service Clear at the airport?
Yeah.
Where you pay for it, and it's just to get all your documents checked. Well, California considers that line skipping, and they're going to do away with it for the sake of equity.
Of course. Yeah, it's not fair.
It's California.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. So what else? We anybody likes
what?
What's the whatchamacallit? The writer, the book, the
Bard?
The other day that we were talking about.
The one that we were talking about the other day.
Not the other day. The other day that we have to celebrate today.
Oh well, there's a lot we have to celebrate possibly, but we're not really celebrating it. There's no way to celebrate Cherry Cheesecake Day today.
Happy National Cherry Cheesecake Day. Well, there is a way to celebrate it.
We can go out and get some, but not for me because I'm on a liquid diet right now.
You are on a liquid diet.
We'll get into that more later.
More on that as we progress through the show.
Cherry cheesecake would not be good for me, and I'm also not going to be drinking any. This is not beer.
Oh no, it's not.
No.
So is that your first libation?
That's my first libation.
Let me put the crawl up. There we go. All right.
There we go.
Apple juice. 100% juice from Ball and Basket, ShopRite, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Is that a town now? ShopRite, New Jersey.
It should be. Have you ever seen the flying in? Have you ever seen the facility?
Oh yeah,
just north of Newark. That thing should be its own town.
Yeah.
And actually, it's smaller than the one going across the Turnpike Bridge into Pennsylvania.
Yep.
I think that one's bigger even.
It's huge.
These are massive.
Mhm.
Amazon might be bigger, but
Well, there's more of them too, right? The Amazons. So
yeah. So, but no, yeah. So this is what I'm drinking because I would love to have some kava today. It is International Kava.
it is International Kava. Happy International Kava Day. There we go.
Not a K, so it's not that stuff from Hawaii that makes you all tingly and just not want to move.
Mhm.
I
I almost when I typed it in the show notes before I put it on here, spell check changed it, autocorrect changed it to cave.
The cave, nice.
Yeah, it's Happy International Cave Day. So.
I feel like I've been living in a cave, but no kava. Kava is just it's just Spanish champagne.
Sure,
It's Spanish sparkling wine.
Spanish sparkling wine.
Right. So
Say that 5 times fast.
Spanish sparkling wine.
That's one.
5 times fast.
No, I said say that 5 times.
Oh,
fast.
that. How about that?
I usually just go that 5 times fast.
Uh,
I take the literal approach.
okay.
Because some people call me cynical.
Well, you are a bastard.
Well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So on that note, happy Cynical Bastards Day.
It is. And so it's appropriate that you're watching us. I'm really not too sure about the legitimacy of that day.
Why is that?
See what I did there?
I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. On what first I played off cynical and I also played off bastard.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Oh,
And I think
jeez.
that's it. There was only one other.
I think the meds have kicked in.
I think the meds have kicked in. Yeah, it was only one more day. I'll just throw it up and you can say what it is. Happy Impossible Astronaut Day. For those of you
Who
that
celebrate?
know. For those of you
For
that
those of you who know.
who know. We'll leave it at that.
We'll just leave it right there.
There you go. If you haven't guessed, today is just the two of us.
It is.
It is the two of us.
We have no one to bail us out tonight, do we?
No.
Yeah.
That's just the two of us. Because the scheduling, we weren't sure your jet lag from your trip. We had a lot going on.
Jet lag's the
there.
worst of my fucking issues.
Oh, no, obviously. So we were leaving today loose anyway. We might not have even done the show. We're like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's persevere. Let's push through.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, I'm gonna be awake anyway. I don't know how lucid I'm gonna be. But hey, that could turn into a good show.
It could be interesting. Just so you know, I poured my first drink. I am indeed imbibing. I'm having a Pilsner Kopervat. I'm assuming it's pronounced.
Kopiravat.
Kopiravat.
I would pronounce it Kopiravat.
Kopiravat. Pilsner Kopiravat. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I still have a friend. I got to talk to him. He's Czech, so listening to the way he spoke.
It's funny because I'm friends with this guy, Johnny Cash. We should get them together. Yeah, that's what I did there.
I saw what you did there.
That's horrible. That was bad. I'm sorry. But anyway, yes.
And the thing is, though, it's always great when Johnny Cash and Drew Carey are together.
Cash and Carey.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There you go.
And when you get Johnny Cash, Robert De Niro, Eddie Money, when you get them all together,
Yeah. They're all the same.
Cash, De Niro, Money.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
No, I got it.
Of course, you can only get one of them together right now.
There's only one that's still alive.
That's true.
Not the one that you would have. Well, it's Cash was older.
Yeah, Cash is older. Yeah.
Still, one of my favorite pictures is that one meme. You might be high, but you're not Johnny Cash You'll never be Johnny Cash eating a birthday cake in a bush high.
No.
If you've ever seen that picture,
you won't.
That's just pure happiness right there.
So, anyway, cheers. Cheers to our show.
Prost.
Prost.
Nostravi for you.
There you go. All right.
I learned so much in Prague. That was one of the things I did learn was how to say Nostravi.
Nostravi.
It's not Nostrovia. There's the Russian way, there's the Polish way, and then there's the Czech way.
The Russian and Polish way are close.
Very close. Nostrovia, I think, are the two different.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Nostravi, I think. think I got it right in Czech. It's like all the Baltic languages. I think they're all the same words. It's just how they pronounce them, or there's an extra vowel here or there, but they're all very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Czechs add a whole lot of different accents and diacritical marks on this stuff to guide you a little better. But
and there you have it. So cool. All right. One thing I want to bring up, if you notice, 10 days of pallet drums. I actually, it just.
I know where this camp comes from. Yeah.
It occurred to me the other day too, that what we're in the middle of right now. So
yeah,
it's like right today's 4,
2, 3,
2, 3, 2, 4.
Yep.
And backwards is 4, 2, 3, 2, 4.
Yep.
Last Friday or last
now, unless
Saturday.
you're in any place else other than you're not in the North America.
Well, yeah, because it would be 2, 3, 4, 0, 4.
Because they do it. Because you think about it, they do it the right way. Day, month, year. That makes more sense.
We do month, day, year, yeah.
Yeah.
But the other day was the full other day was whatchamacallit? Like you could use the 2024 this past Saturday when it was the 20th.
Yeah.
So it was 4202024. And then backwards is 4202024. So you could use the whole 2024.
The whole, all 4 numbers in the year.
All 4 numbers in the year, right? For the 21st through the 29th, you can only use the
5 digits.
Right. So,
but you can go the full 7.
Right. Exactly. So cool one way or the other, but so right there in the middle of it. I thought it was cool. Anyway. All right. Speaking of jet lag, you just got back from a trip.
I did. We talked about it a lot before I left.
We did, and the show last week was from your trip. So
yes, and 5/8 of the trip, which is what is that 40? Oh no, can't math.
5/8 is like
60%,
60-ish, yeah, 60, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there. Was
fantastic.
really, really good. We stopped in Lisbon first, and we went and got some bacalhau.
Mm-hmm.
And I, no offense to those who love it, but I don't need to have that again. And it did murder on my stomach. But it kind of Saturday and the bacalhau, I think, ganged up on me because Saturday. Remember me talking about these Austrian friends that we met in Montreal?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Rene and his son Tobias joined us in Munich on Saturday. Tobias wanted revenge for being drunk under the table in Montreal, and so we all drank quite heavily. I think we started off at Andex, Andex on Dom, which just means Andex at the dome, the cathedral,
mm-hmm.
which is right outside the Frauenkirche, which is just off of Marienplatz. It's one of the biggest churches. I think it's the biggest church in München. And, in
Munich too, I heard.
In Munich as well, yes. I've been there for, just still calling it München. I'm in the United States now, but its real name is München. Mm-hmm. And so we drank there. Then we went to Giesinger, and you heard Jen talk about Giesinger on the show last week. Mm-hmm. That's the brewery that's trying to be the 7th brewery for Oktoberfest. Yeah. And we went and had some of their beer. For the Austrian palate, they were a little too sweet. I thought they were actually quite good. I wanted to have more there, but I knew Rene wasn't really appreciating the beer. So we moved on from there. We went also to, where else did we go? Well, we went up to Eyinger. Mm-hmm. We had dinner at Eyinger and a lot of beer. Then we went next door to the Dublin Irish pub.
You went to an Irish pub in Munich.
Yeah, and we introduced the Austrians to Irish car bombs.
That's great.
Yeah, that was. Well, Tobias is what? He's 19 now, I believe. 19 or 20, and he looks over and he sees the Guinness umbrellas, mm-hmm. and he's like, "Do you like Guinness?" I'm like, "Do I like Guinness? Of course I love it. I like Guinness." Let's go get some Guinness. And that was, I think, the last I remember of most of the night. Is when we hit that bar. Because we were also doing Irish whiskey. So you throw that into everything else that we did. Oh, and I forgot, before we went to Eyinger, we stopped at one of Hackersfors locations right on the market.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was fun. And then when we were done with the Irish pub, we went off to Hofbräu.
Because you have to.
Yeah, and that was the first place where I actually got a full liter.
Did you eat at Hofbräu?
We did get some pretzels.
Nice.
So the Germans spell it with a B, but their B sounds like a P, so it's pretzels.
Pretzels.
So we got a couple of the giant pretzels there, but we ate at Eyinger.
Did Eyinger have my favorite Eyinger there? I mean, it's not the time of year for it, but I was just curious if they had it there.
Which one's that?
The Celebrator.
Oh, no. Celebrator was not on. No. Yeah. Celebrator was not on. I think I had the Hellas. They had a special tapped cask that was supposed to tap at 5 o'clock. By the time we got there at 5 o'clock, it was gone. Really? What? They had actually tapped it at 3.
Oh, jeez.
What to go. So
either that was a very small cask or a very long line that moved fast.
I don't know what the hell happened. But you got it. It was only a 200 liter.
Only 200.
And they drink it by the liter there. That thing didn't last hardly at all. What's interesting though about especially, I can't talk about the other cities, but Munich, all the breweries, when you go around, you look at the restaurants, they're all associated with a brewery.
Sure. Right.
It's here, yeah, they might have a Budweiser sign in the window, but they also have a Coors Light one or a Miller or something like that, right? Craft beer bars will have, their craft beer, founders will be in there, maybe a Dogfish Head, Leon, whatever. But when you're in Munich, every one of the restaurants, there's one brewery that they are associated with. Now, some of the breweries operate their own places. They're not actually locations where they brew. I know Hofbräu, Aventinus especially. Aventinus has got probably like 8 or 9 locations throughout the city that they operate.
Lovely.
So it's really kind of cool the way things work out there.
Are they specifically Aventinus bars or are they Schneiderweiss and General bars?
Not Aventinus, I'm sorry. Augustiner.
Oh, Augustiner. Okay.
Augustiner. Carrie was doing that to me all the time in Munich, and I kept correcting her, and now I just did it. She kept confusing the two. No, they're Augustiners. There's like 8 or 9 Augustiners throughout Munich, and man, it's which is cool. We were the closest to the Keller, Augustiner Keller. We went there twice, as a matter of fact, and while we were there, it's the first time that we had true German apple strudel.
Nice.
With the vanilla sauce and the whipped cream.
Yep.
It was this damn thick.
Sure.
The apples were just like diced into like 1/4-inch dice pieces. Oh my God, it was.
By the way, anybody watching the show, by all means, comment away. Today's the day to do it. Not every day is the day to do it. Every show's the show to do it, but especially today, let's get a dialogue going. Talk about questions for Germany, or
if you've been, tell us your experience there.
Exactly.
Well, Saturday we woke up a little hungover, so we didn't get the train we wanted to, because you know what we did on Sunday, Johnny.
I do know what you did on Sunday. I am very aware of what you did on Sunday.
We went up to Bamberg.
Yes, you did.
We checked into our hotel, which also is a brewery, Spezial. And where did we make a beeline to?
I think you went to a place called, what is that place? Schlenkerla?
Schlenkerla.
Mm-hmm.
And
you proceeded to make me jealous, but that's besides the point.
Well, that's the whole point of me taking these trips. I spent all this money,
especially Germany, just to make me jealous. It's nothing to do with your enjoyment. You're just there to.
Yeah, I hated every second. It's just there to make Johnny jealous. What's interesting about Bamberg, especially outside Schenkla, it's everywhere else is the same way, but it's just very, very more pronounced around Schenkla. Everybody's drinking outside. There's a line going into the building, and you're like, holy crap, we're never going to get a seat. But you realize that's just a line to get beer and go stand outside and drink. If you walk in and go, hey, can we have a seat for 2? They're like, oh, yeah, anywhere. Because there's hardly anybody inside.
Right.
So we sat down. Carrie ordered the Bamberg onion and had that. It's really it's basically like a pork meatloaf stuffed inside an onion and then baked.
That works. It's not a bad thing at all, by the way.
Except I don't like onions, so I was like, okay, I'll take one piece.
Love onions.
It's very oniony.
I love onions.
I forget what I had there. I don't even know what. I had their. I forget what they call the German beer cheese, but I had that.
German beer cheese.
That might be what they call it. It's like Aufsalz or something like that. So we went there. We went up to the cathedral. Beautiful cathedral, huge cathedral. Then came down to something called the Ambrosianum. I think there's an extra. I think they put an extra letter in there. I think that N doesn't belong. I think they're going for Ambrosian.
It's a silent N.
Silent N. But we went there, had one there, then went back to our hotel and had dinner and their beer as well. And their beer was very, very good. But after Schlenkerla, it's really hard to.
Yeah, you either if you're gonna do like what I would do, and your schedules dictate, what you're gonna do, right? You can't really sometimes do it, but what I would do in a perfect world, I would hit one or two places. If I'm gonna go to 3 places that day, I'd hit the other 2 first, and then spend the rest of the day at Schlenkerla. And then
we're staying at Spezio,
right?
So we figured, well, if we're gonna be there,
might as well do that
sit
after.
there and drink, yeah. Right. So do that last, but Schlenkerla, when you understand the history and the age of the building that you're sitting in, it's not just a place to go and sit and drink beer. True. It is that, but there's so much more to it. Bamberg's beautiful. I think Don Tess put it perfectly because you're going to want more time in Bamberg.
Yeah.
And we did, but we did leave on Monday, came back, just walked around a little bit. We did hit Schneider again.
Mm-hmm. Had some more Aventinas. And then we had dinner at Augustina. Mm-hmm.
We were actually there 2 nights. We were there Monday night. We were actually there Tuesday night as well. On Monday night, we're sitting up in the balcony area. I joked with our waiter and said, "Is this where you put all the ugly Americans seem to be?" He goes, "No, that's the table of Germans over there." I'm like, "Well, what did they do wrong?"
Yeah, right.
Because the floor, just all those huge shared tables. They had a band going on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a lot of fun. We went back on Tuesday and we were down on the fest hall floor.
Right.
There was no band going. But what was interesting is the next day, what was it? Arsenal,
mm-hmm.
the football club from England, we were taking on FC Bayern the very next day. And the place was full of Arsenal fans, and they were singing and cheering, and the Germans were just ignoring them. much to their credit.
Gotta love it. We got a comment here from Doug Smith. Bamberg is amazing. Spent 3 nights and 4 days there in 2005. Prost, Dave. There you go.
Now, Doug, when you were there in 2005, this is a question for you. When you were in there in 2005, we noticed something interesting about Bamberg.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first place we noticed it. Then we noticed it was happening in Munich as well, and also in Prague. But in Bamberg, there were so many people drinking Aperol spritzes.
Huh.
It's just this was like the big drink there was Aperol. If you're not drinking a Rauch beer, you're drinking an Aperol spritz.
Is that right?
It was everywhere we went. All the signs, Aperol spritz. How many euros? Now, granted, part of Bamberg has a little Italy in it, and we walked right through that. But even outside of there, we're in that Ambrosianum, and there's people coming in ordering Aperol spritzes rather than drinking the beer. Now, I didn't see anybody drinking Aperol spritz outside of Schlenkerla. If they were, they got it at Ambrosium because that's only like 3 doors down from Schlenkerla. You
saw 3 doors down while you were over there?
Yeah, they were so good. No one understood it because they weren't doing it in German.
Of course not.
But no, it was Aperol spritz everywhere. See, Doug has replied. Did not.
Doug replies, says, "Did not notice that in 2005. Everyone was drinking beer."
The Aperol spritz has made. It's made a foothold.
Don't get us wrong.
I love them.
Nothing wrong with Aperol spritz. It's almost it's almost akin of a conversation to the whole what happened at Spite and Dival thing, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Right, they're taken
It's
over by a
weird,
bar.
right? Yeah, but
No,
yeah,
I
there's
love
nothing wrong
Aperol.
with it, but
I love Aperol Spritz. It's one of my favorite moments when I was in Italy. It's in Venice, sitting on one of the huge piazzas at the Aperol bar, having an Aperol Spritz. That was one of my favorite moments in all of Italy.
There you go.
But I did not expect to go to Bamberg and see people drinking Aperol Spritzes.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the strangest thing.
That's pretty funny. So, and then as you went back on Tuesday night, and then of course Tuesday when you left there, you went over to.
We walked up to Higgins, and we did the show from Higgins. We had such a great time there. Before it, I don't know if anybody caught it, but I went Facebook Live on And Chaser, and I mean, we had a great old time there, but we were invited to begin with to a whiskey pairing. And it was, let me see if I can get any. I mean, I've got all the paperwork here from it. They gave us the paperwork.
I love paperwork.
Yeah. No, there was some. So one of the ones I did get it. We showed up at the end of it because after everything else we had drank, I'm like, I don't want to drink too much. So we got some stuff. This guy brought this stuff from Aaron Distillery, and I interviewed him for Anna Chaser. Go back, watch that. Guy's very, very intriguing, very, very intelligent. Over 350 bottles of scotch in his cellar.
We'll post a link on we'll post a link on the Blog Room Facebook page, and you can get to it too. Doug Smith just answered too. He said, "So I understand Tom will be headed to Columbus, Ohio for his big trip. You guys meeting him at Brewdog?"
That is when. He has not said any of this to us.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow night on And a Chaser.
And a Chaser, yes.
Yeah.
And now and the thing is, I probably will not be on the whole show because, again, still not drinking.
There you go. So we have another comment too. Wait a minute. From Al Gattulo comments, and he says, "What are both your thoughts on kids in tasting rooms?"
It's funny because I was thinking about that today, and it was because Johnny, you and I were talking about Spite and Dival.
Sure.
And if you remember, the last time you and I were there together, we were in the back, and you were really hesitant to light up a cigar.
Correct.
And I finally talked you into it, like, we're outside. It's perfectly allowable. You know, have a good time, smoke the cigar. And of course, John smoking the cigar, and some lady with a couple of kids kind of gets a little pissed off. It's like, you're at a bar, you're outside in a bar. If you don't want your children to be exposed to all the elements that come with this bar, don't bring them.
Right.
You know, this is, and the thing is, my thoughts to it are mostly irrelevant. This is up to the parent. Don't put it on the rest of us to raise your children. Okay, you're going to a brewery, you're going to a bar. And I love the whole family feel of a tasting room. I love to see dogs in tasting rooms, and I really don't mind seeing kids in tasting rooms. I don't want them sitting at the bar though. A child should not be taking
they really can't be though. That's illegal.
Oh no. I've seen it.
I've seen it. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I just mean it shouldn't not because people would be upset about it or don't like to see it.
It's illegal.
It's illegal.
It's illegal.
You have to sit at a bar, on a bar stool, at a proper bar. You have to be 21 years old or of drinking age, wherever you are.
Drinking age.
Right.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, if the kids are well behaved and the parents are paying attention to them, I have no problem with it.
100%.
It's those where the kids are running around. The parents are not paying any attention to them.
Mind you, I'm more upset with the parents, not the kids.
Yes, not the kids. It's not the kids' fault. Now, granted, if the kid runs into the side of a table, whacks his head, falls down, and starts to cry, mom's got to take care of him. It's hard to stifle the laugh as long as the kid's okay. It's like, this is what you get, you little shit.
Yeah, as long as the kid's okay.
As long as he's okay.
My first reaction as a parent would be to jump up and run over there. Hey,
is he okay?
Is he okay? And if he's just standing there like, dumbfounded, but he's fine, other than just,
Then it's kind of funny.
Then it's like you snickers, you walk away, right? They don't see your face,
But it's so again, it's really up to the parents' behavior. If it's something that's that should or shouldn't be,
right?
It's just like bringing your dog to a brewery. If the dog's just going to snap at everybody or growl at everybody, that dog should not be in a brewery.
Same thing, exactly. If the dog is a playful, fun dog, 100% belongs there because it's going to people are going to come over to it. It's almost like a conversational starter, right?
Yep.
You know, oh, your dog, boom, boom. All of a sudden you're petting. All of a sudden you're hanging out drinking with the people that brought the dog. You know,
and again, it's on the parents of the dog, you know,
Right.
the way they trained it.
of course.
But the thing is, I found that adults tend to be more conscientious about bringing their dog to a brewery if the dog's not behaved than they are their
And
children.
they are their own kids. Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree 100%. I've said that for years. As long as the parents are paying attention to the kids. Now, the parents don't have to be standing there staring at the kids. Just know what they're doing. Have the situation under control.
Be cognizant that they're with you.
The one caveat I'll put in there is I hate to walk in to a tasting room and see 2 4-tops taken up by like 3 or 4 kids, 2 at each, with construction paper and coloring books and everything all over, and then the parents at another table. Right? I mean, I get you need the room. I understand that, but to the people that are actually in there to spend money need to sit down too. You know, especially if it's busy that day, and if there's plenty of room and there's like 6 people in the whole place, that's a different story. But
that's what I love. What Human Robot does. After what hour you have to be 21 to be inside the tasting room?
2 p.m. So they got 2 hours. Parents have 2 hours to take. Well, no, they open at noon. So 2 hours.
I thought they opened at 11, but
maybe they do open at 11. So it's 3
it's either
hours.
2 or 3 hours. But and then take your example, John, even further is when they're throwing a birthday party for a child at the brewery.
Right.
What the fuck happened to Chuck E. Cheese? Suffer like the rest of us did with our children. Get your ass to Chuck E. Cheese. Deal with that horrible ass pizza and those nightmarish things up on the stage. You know, I really want to just reprogram those with like Judas Priest and AC/DC. Have them really perform.
Exactly. Doug put up a few comments here. Great question, Al. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doug said, kids are welcome in tasting rooms. You want to drink with just adults, go to a bar.
Yep.
There you go. He says, Dave is correct, of course. Parents need to be responsible and kids restricted to a family area. And that's another thing we'll bring up. With Source, too, does that. Let me throw up his other comment here first. He said, irresponsible parents ruin it for everybody. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with Source in Colts Neck, New Jersey, over on Route 34, they have several areas, right? They have a whole outside area. But then inside, when you walk inside the brewery in the tasting room, there's a whole downstairs area. And then there's stairs that go up. And upstairs, there's an area that goes out to a deck. That upstairs area in the deck is adults only.
Adults only.
No kids.
And there's like and they have that outside area for the kids that have zip lines over punji sticks and everything. And like, oh no, that's
not right. No.
And then there's the quick sandbox.
Quick sandbox. And no. But seriously though, yeah, they have that whole separate area. So if you're there and you're in the mood and you don't care and family area, and it's kind of, I mean, there's by the bar there's like 3 or 4 barrels with stools at them, and then on the other side of that is where there are tables, and that's pretty much wwhere the kids migrate to, with the parents with kids migrate to. But upstairs you got long beer hall tables and some other smaller tables, and then out to that deck, outside the doors overlooking the outside area, that's all adults. That's it. So the different areas, some breweries obviously unfortunately don't have enough space to be able to do that. So the parents need to be cognizant of what's going on around them and who else is there. And it's not their responsibility to make sure everybody else has fun, but it's their responsibility to make sure their kids are, observed and controlled to whatever degree. Yeah. Brian Bogue just commented in, the zip line over punchy sticks would be good.
It's good thing he never had his own tasting room. Imagine.
He's in a wheels turning right now, but
have a fun house of horrors.
House of horrors. And Doug Spitz said, if I had a tasting room, no children in the bar area, no exceptions.
In the Brian Bogue tasting room, there'd have the cage. 2 kids enter, 1 kid leaves.
There you go. Or just have an escape room for the kids.
Oh, there you go. Just escape.
Put them in. They're fine in there. If they can find their way out, they're good to go.
There you go.
There you go. We
jest.
Dave and I have multiple kids each, so we get it. But no, seriously, just parents, just
And it's not
Know
like
what your
either.
kids are doing when
It's
you're
not
at the
like either of us ever duct taped one of our children's mouth shut and threw them in the dog cage.
Never.
No, that's never happened as far as anyone knows.
Don't look at me, but no, it's not. Right. Brian just commented again. Kids need to be under control. Why should I have to deal with your kids going nuts? Escape room would have no exit.
There you go.
All righty. Oh, there you go. That's an open. Let me just put that down there 1 second. 35. Anyway.
So I'm on to my second, John.
You're on to your second?
Yeah.
Escape room. What is your second there, sir?
Agua. H to the O.
H to the O. So let me just put your scroll up. There you go.
And I'm one of those who likes mine on the rocks.
There you go.
The apple juice. The apple juice was straight.
There you go. Now, do you? Let me ask you a question. Now, like in your apple juice, do you put water, ice cubes in your apple juice?
No.
Do you put in your water? Do you put apple juice ice cubes?
Nope.
That would be interesting.
There's no ice cubes. It's just chilled. The apple juice is just chilled. And so there's frozen water in my water.
Now, what's the malt profile like on that water?
It's like non-existent.
Very thin.
Yeah, the body's quite. One would say it's a little.
It's watery. A little watery. It's a little watery.
Water, yeah.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
But man, it's crisp. I mean, crispy boys.
Gotta love a crispy boy.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm gonna finish. This was really good. I do have to say, all jesting aside, this
jousting.
All jousting aside, this is very good. This it's from Sapwood Cellars in Maryland. The Pilsner Kapiravat Czech Pilsner is very good. Very good.
The can looks so familiar. I don't know if I may have one of those or I had one of those. It's a Tavor thing, right?
Tavor thing. More on that in about 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned. But that was very, very good. So I'm gonna put myself. Let's open the comments up here while I pour my other beer. Another couple of comments on here. Al Catulo said, "I say put them to work sweeping the floor and washing glasses." That's
not a bad idea. I don't know if I trust them with the glasses.
Plastic glasses. We could do that.
Yeah,
if you're serving in plastic glasses, you got to wash them. No, I'm kidding.
And just take them back and have them clean out the tanks. They can get in there easy, right? Put them in. Put them in the mash tun. Get them scrubbing.
There you go. It's not a bad idea. You can do CIP. Yeah.
It's so easy to get them in there.
I think they fit a lot easier than anybody else.
That's I can't get through that hatch.
Brian Boak just said Ramstein Maybach was his first. Now, at first I was wondering, was his first escape room, his first tap room, and I realized it's his first beer tonight. Okay, gotcha. And that's a fantastic Maybach, by the way. So kudos there.
Yes,
Brian.
Absolutely.
I'm going to open up my second beer. I'm only having 2 tonight. David suggested, since he wasn't drinking, and he and I normally have 3 each on the show, that I have all 6. But since that wasn't going to happen, I'm just having one for me. And
so I did have Kapiravat. You know Kapiravat translates to?
What does it translate to?
Clone.
Clone.
So, because my check-in says a clone of what? Or Guel? Is this a Pilsner or an ale? I'm so confused. Who cares? It's yummy.
So what did you ever find out what is a clone of?
No. Maybe it's not a clone, but it's called. But its name is Pilsner Clone.
That's the name of the beer, Pilsner Clone.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. For my second beer, I'm coming back to New Jersey. Brian said it's a keg on tap. That's awesome.
There you go.
Very awesome. I'll be up in a little while, Brian.
He was drinking off that last week, wasn't he?
I think he was, actually.
Yeah.
My second beer here is as simple as Shadows, but not the regular version, which I've actually had the regular version of the show. It is the smoked version.
Smoked version. We're talking about Bomberg, and Johnny pulls out the smoke.
Smoked version of From the Seed in Atlantic City. Smoked version of their Schwarzbier, as simple as Shadows.
One of my favorite breweries going right now in Jersey.
Actually, if you read the title, there's a question mark there. So it's as simple as Shadows?
Oh, okay. Or maybe they just want you to say it like you're Welsh.
There you go.
Is it Shadows?
Simple as Shadows.
Oh, I don't know if you ever saw the Pythoners talking about the different accents, and you said,
Of course.
Welsh is just make everything sound like a question.
It's a question, right?
Did you put in proper glassware?
I put in a Willie Becker. How's that?
Oh, you don't have your This Week in Rock beer?
I don't have my This Week in Rock beer. It's downstairs. I could have actually grabbed it, but I didn't. I grabbed these, and I'm sitting up here. I'm like, I should have grabbed it, but the next smoke beer I have on the show will go in that glass.
You heard it here first, folks.
It might not be for a couple months, but anyway, a couple more comments.
I still have one can of Erla left.
Nice. Doug Smith commented in, speaking of box, has anyone tried Trogue's Little Nader? Had it last week at a brewery. It was fantastic. I did.
Brewery? Any brewery?
Any brewery?
I think I meant the brewery.
Did you have it, Doug? Did you have it at Trogue's, or did another brewery have a guest tap with it on there?
Yeah, that's the question.
Let us know. But to answer your question, yes, I had it.
I haven't had it.
I had it a couple of months ago in Pennsylvania, in Bethlehem, as a matter of fact, when I was up for that trip. And it was, he said the brewery. He had it.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, it was fantastic. I think it was a great beer. I'm a big Troganator fan. I love the beer. But Little Nader was well done. It was so good. I'm a big Bach, like a single Bach fan, and that was well done. I've been looking for, a 4-pack, 6-pack, whatever they have, whatever they're putting it out in around in Jersey. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't been digging through shelves to look for it. I've been going nuts, but I've been keeping an eye out. Haven't noticed it yet, but I will be getting some if I can, if it's even gotten to Jersey. Because when I had it in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. You had it out at the brewery, so maybe they didn't even distribute it to Jersey. So
who knows?
Not quite sure. To continue, Brian said, "No, I just got it Saturday. Next homebrew is Two Blind Monks Belgian Double. Next is homebrew Two Blind Monks Belgian Double." There you go.
I know he had. What did he have? He had something from Ramstein on tap.
He did. He did.
It just wasn't that.
Was it
the winter?
Was it the win? It might have been the Winterbach.
Yeah, it may have been the Winterbach.
Yeah. And Al Gattulo just coming in. I've had a Little Nader. Was sent a couple by Trogues Delicious. Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, so good. Such a good.
You want to get beer sent to you? Have a radio show. That's.
Right. Is that the secret?
That must be the secret.
Yeah, right.
We got to start writing letters, Sean.
There you go. Speaking of writing.
Speaking of writing, yes, John wrote a skit. It's called Nudge, Nudge, Wink, Wink. No, it's something else.
That's not out yet. Right. Anyway, it's another winter wheat. Yeah, it's winter wheat.
It was winter. Yeah, that's what it was.
Go ahead.
You've got to get on the Logger Room, guys, and get onto our Facebook page. There is a link to an article that Johnny wrote about.
You go to the website too. It's right on. It's the featured article on the website too.
It's basically a eulogy to Spite and Dival, and it's well written. It's written with heart and alcohol and. More alcohol. So go and give that a read.
Couple of little tears, and
yes, he took his Berliner Weiss and made it into a Goza.
Just right amount.
Just the right amount. So yeah, go give that a read, and on probably an upcoming show we'll talk a little bit more about Spite and Dival. Devote a little more time to it.
Yeah, they are done. We mentioned it a couple of weeks ago.
This past Saturday, right?
This past Sunday was the last day. Saturday was their last event. They did Swansea Day.
Swansea Day, yes.
And then I wanted to get over Friday. Friday turned out that it wasn't going to happen. I really didn't want to go during the day on Saturday because it was going to be a shit show. Be it Swansea Day, it's a shit show to begin with, and then of course it being the second to last day ever.
Yeah.
And kudos for them. I just didn't want to be involved in that.
No.
So I was thinking about going later in the evening. But then that didn't pan out either. And then Sunday I was busy. So when I got there 3 weeks ago, that was it. That was the date. They're done on Sunday. They were done on Sunday. But we will have a show. We'll talk about it. We'll bring a few people up. we did go to Spite and Dival with, and maybe wax nostalgic with some Spite and Dival stories. I'm trying to get a hold of, maybe a bartender I wouldn't mind getting one of the guys from the Carol group.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if they come on. But at least a few people that we went over with, and we'll talk more about that. But anyway, so all right. So that was your trip. I actually, now speaking of Saturday, I did. Matt and I got out. We went up to. Hold on.
Up to my neck of the woods.
Up to your neck of the woods. Before I get there, though, I want to
throw
this up. Yeah, Alex says, it's true. Having a radio show about beer increases your chances of getting free beer samples by about 100%.
Yeah, I'm just bitterly jealous.
I understand Dave's, feelings, but there's only so much beer you can drink.
Yeah, I mean,
And he said, Doug Smith said, nothing is free, Al. The cost is getting passed on to the consumers that gladly pay for their beer. I'm sure that was a joke.
Gonna get a rap battle going on.
Oh, geez, here we go. Doug's a big gesture. And not a king.
No, not a king.
Not a king. So, just ask John. He'll tell you. But in any event.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here he goes. He just laughed. There you go. Anyway, okay. So, man, I got up to your neck of the woods. Went to Brix City Brewing up in
what the hell were they doing?
They had their annual Silk City release.
Oh, the one where the Hackensack police were smart. They just post themselves right on the main road right there.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot. I did notice a lot of Ubering.
The thing is, because let's face it, you go to Brix City on Silk City Day, you're putting your liver and driver's license at risk if you're
in that order.
If you're driving, but also more than anything, you're putting your car's suspension system at risk, especially if you're parking behind the brewery.
Right.
One of these days, we got to try to figure out. Maybe we go with like measuring tapes and rulers and stuff, and figure out who's got the worst potholes: Climax or Brix City.
Yeah, we'd have to look. I'm not sure.
That's a close call.
More on that. That is a close call. Yeah, we'll talk more on that in another show. I think that's a topic for another show.
Actually, I think what we might have to do one day is do a live show with you in Climax's parking lot, and I'll be in Brix City's parking.
Why do I have to go to Climax?
Because you worked there.
I didn't work at Climax.
Not Climax. I'm sorry. I'm thinking
Cricket Hill.
Cricket Hill, yes.
Oh yeah,
that's the parking lot.
That's the parking lot you're talking about.
Right. So you do it from Cricket Hill. I'll do it from
there you go.
I'll do it from Brix.
Fair enough.
And we'll go with all kinds of measuring devices.
Yeah, we could do that.
Spectrometers,
surveying equipment, transit. Just looking.
Yeah.
Right. Why not? So anyway, so was there Silk City release?
Better yet, you know what we could do?
What could we do?
We could have pothole filling parties at both.
Ooh, that's an idea.
That could be a lot of fun.
Fairly certain where I think you're going with this, but
no, I'm done.
All right, we'll leave it done. Anyway,
we're done.
So Brix City, their Silk City release, they had 5. So they had their base, and they had 4 variants. Their variants were chocolate mint, which
you know how I feel about mint. But.
You know what though, it was very good.
Yeah.
What you call chocolate mint. They had Thai banana.
Thai banana. Not
they
just
had
banana.
Thai banana. They had Neapolitan.
Okay. All 3 flavors.
All 3 flavors, right? And tiramisu.
Cinnamon and lactose.
You would think no. This was it was chocolate.
Oh no,
it was cacao.
Coffee.
There's cocoa nibs.
Because there's espresso in
right. Coffee nibs. Cocoa nibs. Coffee.
Coffee nibs.
Cocoa nibs, coffee, and vanilla.
No.
Yeah, there was no cinnamon, which I thought but
I would have put a touch of cinnamon in that.
I would have put a touch of cinnamon.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Maybe even some Thai cinnamon.
All of them were really good. All of them were really good.
Good.
I did bring a couple bottles home.
Yeah, I was there last year.
Yeah. They were really good. And then so we were there for a bit. Talked to Gene actually accompanied us.
I did see the picture of
Yeah.
of the three of you dipshits.
Yeah,
And dipshits is a term of endearment from
of course,
a group that we have.
100%. Yeah, no, we brought Gene just so he wouldn't be able to say thanks for the invite.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Anyway, but so Gene was there. Of course, Joe and Pete and Dragon, all the whole Brix City staff was there. It was amazing. They were all great people. You got.
And usually you'll get some of the Bolero staff show up there.
And then whatchamacallit, and then I had Doug Edwards, who's formerly of Carton.
Yeah, I keep missing him, man. His birthday just passed.
I know. I was texting with him on his birthday, and I asked him if he was going on Saturday, and he said no, he's not going to be able to. He's golfing, so forth and so on. And then Matt and I are standing there with Gene, and all of a sudden, somebody's running past me really quick. And as he's coming past me, it's Doug. He goes, "I know I said I wasn't coming, but I had, and he wound up showing up. So he was there for.
That's cool. That's cool. That was Saturday, right?
That was Saturday, right?
Yeah, I was either in an airport or in a plane on Saturday.
One of the two.
Yeah.
And then when we left there, we went over to Ghost Talk.
That's not a bad choice whatsoever.
And it was their.
We said you went over to Ruts first, grab some dogs, and then went to Ghost Talk.
No,
because they're having their big celebration, and so you.
Right, went straight there first. As you could, it was their fifth. I guess their fifth. It was their fifth anniversary.
It's their fifth, yeah.
Yeah, and then so we went to parking. We had to look for parking.
Oh, that means there's a new good dog coming out.
So we went there, and we're standing there. Was a bunch of people there. I ran into a bunch of people I went to high school with, talking to them for a bit.
Cool.
Man, I ran into some other friends, and then we were hanging out. And then my plan.
You had a plan.
Because Matt did not want any Ruts Hut. He's like, he was good, right? He didn't want any. So I'm like, all right. At some point, I was planning on sneaking out, just going across the street, grabbing 2 rippers, and coming back, right? Probably get 2, load them up a relish, eat one there, and then take the other one and eat it as I walk across the street.
You know that they put the chili on now.
Now they do the chili, yeah. And you know why, though, right?
Because they were tired of everyone making a mess, putting it on themselves.
No. I don't know this for a fact. I heard this through
the grapevine,
reliable sources, but apparently there was a couple of articles that came out where there were a bunch of people. I mean, 2 of the top hot dog places in New Jersey all the time are Ruts Hut and Hiram's. Okay, mm-hmm. Now. I really like Hiram's.
Yeah, Hiram's.
I go to Fort Lee. I'm grabbing Hiram's if I'm on a hot dog, right? But Ruts Hut's, for me, the top.
Agree.
But there were a bunch of people saying that they were happier at Hiram's because they could get a chili dog.
Well,
now at Ruts Hut, for me, now that's just the thing. At Ruts Hut, you had to order the chili separate and then put it on yourself. Now I still like doing that because I'll get 3 rippers, onion rings, and a cup of chili. I put relish on 2 of the hot dogs. I put chili, a lot of chili on one of them. All right. I dip my onion rings in the chili and then I eat the rest of the chili. That's my typical meal when I go to Ruts Hut, right? And I'd still do that. Even if they're putting chili on the dogs, I'm still putting it on myself. I'm still doing what I do. But apparently they caved, if you will, after almost 100 years, and they're now making chili dogs. So And the belief is that they're doing it because of that article about Hiram's and what people are saying.
I disagree with that because I think I don't think they give a shit.
I was shocked to hear that too, because why would they care after almost 100 years, right?
But last time I was there, first I was amazed at their new digital board.
Sure.
Right, they got this new digital board now. The old board's gone. Mm-hmm. So end of an era there.
Yep.
But that also coincided with them starting to put the chili on the dogs. And so I asked them, "You're putting the chili?" Because someone ordered it and they did it. I'm like, "You put the chili on the dogs now?" He looks at me and goes, "We just got so tired of people asking." So we figured it was just time to start doing it.
Time to do it. Times they are a changing.
Yeah. That's only one. There's only one constant in the world.
Change.
Yep.
So anyway, so my plan was to sneak across at some point and go get a couple hot dogs. So we're standing there BS, and like I said, I ran into a couple people I went to high school with, and some others we're drinking, we're hanging out, and all of a sudden, one of the guys that was standing there, he had disappeared for a little bit, comes back, and he says, "Son of a bitch!" And I said, "What's the matter?" He goes, "Ruts is closed." I'm like, "Closed?" And I look at my watch. It was 5 to 8. Ruts closes at 8 o'clock now. I mean, they used to be open till 2 in the morning. 8 o'clock on a Saturday night with that event going on across the street. You can't stay open till 10. I mean, I'm not mad at them. That's their business, right? But still, really keep it open a little longer. So I'm like, son of a bitch. I lost track of time and completely forgot that they were closing at 8 in the first place. So
it's a shame.
But, so I didn't get my ruts.
Oh well,
there you go. But had a good time at Ghost Talk nonetheless. A couple of good beers. Had their Maibach, had their Kolsch, and I had their Scotch Ale. So I had 3 beers.
Oh, that's Scotch Ale.
Yeah,
that's the Scotch Ale that they brought to the VIP from Bruceology.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so.
Such a good beer.
Yeah, it was good. So, and there you go. So that was the day. That was the day.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All right. This is drinking really nice. I'm really liking this.
Yeah.
I mean, the Schwartz beer itself.
This is the seeds. So what do you
think?
You said it was mild in smoke, though.
It's I mean, it's like it's nowhere near Bomberg, right? It's nowhere near Schlenkerla, but it's there. It's not like what smoke. What? I mean,
So Johnny and I were talking earlier today about Schlenkerla and drinking the Märzen there. It's so different. I mean, because let's face it, you put something in a bottle, you ship it across the ocean, it sits on the shelf for a little while, you buy it.
The smoke fades.
No, it's not. No, I think it gets stronger.
It depends on the beer.
Yeah, because the Urbach, it definitely gets stronger.
Yeah, it depends on the beer. By the way, Chuck Aaron just said, no ruts for you.
No ruts for you. Yes. Chuck just turned into the wiener Nazi. But it changes because I don't know, maybe it's not that it fades or gets stronger, but I think separates might be a better word, where Fair it's enough. More. It's not as incorporated.
It's not a cohesive, right? It's you got your smoke and you got your beer, and you can dissect the two of them out of it. It's not one cohesive unit of a beverage,
But it was which makes no sense since it's the malt that does it. But I don't know. But all I know is sitting there, because we're in April, they're still brewing the Märzen fresh.
I'm fine with that.
And they're coming out with these wooden casks that they're smacking the bung into, and boom.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. That's all that experimentation in college, wasn't it, John?
I hate when that happens.
But and it is just such a remarkable. Like I told Johnny, it's like drinking. It's almost like drinking Guinness here and drinking it in Ireland. Drinking a can or a bottle of Schlenkerla here and then going there. Yes, a lot of it is the atmosphere. I would say the disparity between Guinness here and Guinness there is much larger, though.
Huge. That's huge.
It's much larger, but it's still there is a disparity, and some of the stuff that they drink there, even at Schlenkerla, they're pouring it out of the bottles.
Interesting.
The only thing that was actually on tap was the Märzen.
All right.
So
maybe they just package everything, and so they don't have to worry about cooperage and where the kegs are going and how they're getting anywhere. It's all going in bottles, and that's even in house. That's how it's doled out.
So that's because Johnny asked me, he goes, "Did you have the Erla while you were there?" And that's their smoked Schwartz beer, because that's one of my favorite beers on the planet right now, and I was so excited to maybe get it on tap. And I look, someone orders one, and I see them pop a bottle. I'm like, okay, that's wrong. That's not what I wanted. So I actually didn't get a Schwartz beer while I was there.
Gotcha.
But
what are you gonna do? Anyway, all right. Speaking of Germany again, I think it's time for our top 3 list. What do you think?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, let's do it. Tonight's top 3 list in honor of his trip to Germany, and we were actually toying with doing this last week. We wound up doing German beer styles with Jen and Paul. Is top 3 favorite German foods. Top 3 favorite German foods. Samurai, have at it first, would you?
I'm going to start off. I'm only going to do 3. There won't be any honorable mentions here.
Fair enough.
Number 3 is probably going to be Spätzle.
Okay.
It's such a simple thing. It's really just an eggy dough that they drop into water. Mm-hmm. Then they fish it out and toss it into butter and onions. Mm-hmm. Some don't. Some with onions, sometimes without onions.
I love it with butter and onions. I love Spätzle, but yeah, butter and onions. I know you don't love onions. I love onions, but
I don't particularly love onions, so I like it when they don't do that. And so many of the gravies. And remember, we ate at almost every place we ate was brewery related, but then again, it's pretty much all of Germany when you're eating German food. So many of the other food items comes with this dark beer gravy. Mm-hmm. And you take that gravy and you just drag the Spätzle through that, and that to me that was really good.
Fantastic.
That was amazing. Mm-hmm. Pretzels. Sorry, Philadelphia. I know you think you've got the best pretzels out there. Mm-hmm. The worst.
Philadelphia has the best pretzels in Philadelphia, though.
They absolutely do. You can't argue that. But the one thing is, about 15 minutes after, they've come off the heat, mm-hmm. they can be a weapon, which is appropriate for Philadelphia.
Yeah, it depends. I've had some pretty damn good pretzels in Philly. But,
but those things harden real quick.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, they get harder than. Yeah, you got to keep them warm.
Yeah, I like the New York pretzels that start off as rocks.
Oh yeah, they're rocks to begin with. You actually have to dip them in water to eat them.
Oh God, they're awful.
Or beer or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, the only thing you ever want to get off of a hot dog stand in New York is either halal food or a dirty water dog. And if you get a dirty water dog and you get the shits, it's called a dirty water dog.
You were asking for it.
It's so worth it sometimes, though. Mm-hmm. But at any rate, no, the pretzels there, everywhere there's a pretzel. You can't walk 15 yards without a storefront selling a pretzel.
Throwing a pretzel at you.
Throwing pretzels. They almost are. I mean, because we paid for the breakfast in the hotel. And people are like, well, why would you do that? Why would you go out? It's a fantastic breakfast, actually. They've got the white sausages. They've got the pretzels. They've got a yogurt bar. They've got hot food. Mm-hmm. And the pretzels in the hotel were really good. And one of the biggest chains there is this place called Richard. Mm-hmm. We got some pretzels from there. Those were really good.
Sure.
But another thing they do with their pretzels, they use their pretzels like bagels.
They put cream cheese and lox on them?
They will, yes. Yeah. But the thing is, it's not like they cut the bagel in half and there's a bunch of cream cheese and lox and you can see straight through the holes. They're putting it around the pretzel.
On the pretzel. Okay.
Yeah. It's insane what they do. And then you can we got these. They got also at Richard. Oh no, it's another big chain there. I can't remember the name of it now. And what they'll do is they'll take pretzels and they'll just melt Emmentaler cheese over the top of them. Then the cheese cools and hardens, and you've got this kind of Swiss cheese pretzel.
Interesting.
And those things were delicious.
Nice.
But I think the best pretzels we probably had were probably at I didn't even get to that part of the German trip. Weinstefan. And those pretzels were so damn good.
Love Weinstefan.
Well, we took the tour.
Mm-hmm.
We took the tour. We at the end of the tour, you get 4 samples. Oh, you get this cute little guy to take home. See this?
You get a cute little guy to take home?
Yeah, see this one?
There you go. That's very nice.
Yeah, it's very cool. And it's glass.
And I love it. I love it when your tour guide, is
there he is. There's Adam.
Is holding a great can of beer right there.
Yeah. So I did. So we're taking a left turn out of the top 3s here, but that's Adam. Adam is from College Park, Pennsylvania, mm-hmm. and he went over to study brewing at Weinstefan. Mm-hmm. So on Tuesdays he does the English tour for them. And Johnny had asked me if I'd bring a fries and Tide with me to Fries in Germany, and have someone take the picture. That's an employee take a picture with it. I said, "You want to bring a full can?" And he was like, "No, that's no need." This-
I love Rising Tide's great. I don't need somebody at my favorite, almost 1,000-year-old brewery tasting our
yeah, no,
our
that's
house.
that's respect right there, folks. That is
Yeah.
respect. So when I asked him, because the beginning of the tour, he says, "Don't take any pictures of any of the employees. They're shy. They don't like that." And I finally asked him, said, "Well, what about you?" He goes, "No, yeah, I don't care. I'm the U.S. What do I care?" I said, "Can you do me a big favor?" And so he held that up. But he really gave a great tour.
Nice.
He gave us a lot of information very quickly. And, and then we sat down, and I remember there was these two guys, and one was from Long Island. No, Brooklyn. He was from Brooklyn, which is on Long Island, but don't tell a Brooklyner that, they'll kill you. Right. And the other guy was from DC.
It's not part of Long Island. It's just on
Long Island, yes. And the other guy was from DC, and it was funny because, I was about 20 minutes in the tour, I looked at Carrie like, that dude's hungover. She goes, "What?" Like, he's got all the earmarks of being hungover. Yep. He's barely paying attention. Anytime there's an open window, he stands next to it. So we actually wound up sitting with him with these guys at the tasting room. I looked at the guy, went, "You're hungover, aren't you?" He goes, "Is it that obvious?" Like, for those of us who have suffered through this, yes.
We know.
I'm like, get into your second sample, you'll be fine.
Exactly.
But so that was great. But at any rate, so the pretzels there were probably the best pretzels. But my favorite thing the Germans do, and easily our best meal in all of Germany, was that Weihenstephan. And up until that point, we were talking about, like, in Italy, almost everywhere we went, you put the fork in your mouth, put that first bite of food in your mouth, you're like, "Oh my God." Everything was just a revelation. It was just amazing. Germany, it's like, this is good. This is good. Everything's meat and potatoes. This is good. Except for Weihenstephan. I ordered the ham hock, the fried ham hock.
Fried ham hock.
And there's a German word for it. See if I can find it for you, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Schweinschacke.
Schweinschacke.
Yeah, Schwein. You know how to spell Schwein. I know that. Mm-hmm. Shaxe. Schweinschacke. Shaka Khan? No.
Let me feel for you.
But man, that's the first bite of that thing. And that came with the potato dumplings, which were so good. But that was easily our best meal in Germany.
Nice. There we go. Okay. Cool. All right. My top three. There we go.
We know your top one.
I have.
If anybody's read his bio on the website, you know his top one. But
I have 27 honorable mentions. No, seriously, I will mention a couple. Right? I mean, a good German bologna. You can't beat a good German bologna.
But here's the thing: we've had German style bologna here.
Well, the food is not controlled by the TTB, where you have to put the word "style" in there.
I know it's not, which is silly.
However, as far as I'm concerned, my favorite bologna is a German bologna, and that's obviously Thuman's. That's besides the point. But fresh German veal loaf is fantastic too. There's a German butcher in a town I used to live in, and daily they used to make fresh German veal loaf. And when it came out of the smoker, they would take it, and before they even put it in the case, whoever happened to be in the store right then, they would get a slice.
Oh, nice!
There you go.
Now explain what that is.
It's veal bologna is basically what it is, but it's not as dense. It's dense, but it's not as dense. It's like a little more airy. It's a little more.
It's not as rubbery.
It's not as rubbery as bologna can be. So again, the bologna is like more like a sausage, right? There's actual air pockets in some, not tiny ones, but I mean they're there. It's a loaf, but it's a baked loaf or a smoked loaf. But it's like I said, more or less, it's
more the consistency lighter of a mortadella than
even less.
Oh, even less. Okay.
Which fantastic. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't say a good, solid, quality, traditional German potato salad is just stupid good.
Kartoffelsalat.
There we go. So, but my top three
Mhm.
are number 3, knockwurst.
See, knockwurst is my least favorite of the worst.
I love a good knockwurst, but I'm putting like raw onion on that, mustard, sauerkraut. I'm treating it more like a hot dog, right?
Well, because the thing is, it's to me, it's a small bologna.
It's close to a hot dog,
Close to a
small
bologna.
bologna, but it's shorter, fatter. It's just the consistency of it, right? You're biting into it. It's a little bigger. But that, like I said, I treat that as a hot dog. And I mean, I could put hot dogs on here all day, but we eat hot dogs every day, so I'm not going to put this on my top list, right? My number 2, 100%. I'll eat as much of this as I possibly can get during Oktoberfest, and that's sauerbraten.
See, things I love sauerbraten.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't love you.
No, because it's all vinegar. So what's it going to do? It's going to clean you
out.
Yeah.
Oh, it does.
It's very effective.
Yeah, especially
it is delicious.
Especially when you eat it with red cabbage. It's really fun. Yeah.
When you do this, does Jess go visit her sister?
No, she just goes to bed early. Yeah. Which we got, and then my number 1, as Dave said, if you read my bio on the website or anywhere else, bratwurst. Bratwurst is my number 1 by far. I could eat bratwurst. I tend to eat more bratwurst over the summer and into Oktoberfest, but I could eat bratwurst every day. I wouldn't be a good idea for me to eat bratwurst every day.
No, probably not.
But I could.
But then there's also, and I know Johnny loves this too, Braunschweiger.
Braunschweiger is very good.
I prefer liverwurst to Braunschweiger.
I do as well.
Braunschweiger, there's not as many. So liverwurst, there's enough adjuncts in it to get rid of a lot of the metallic flavor of the liver.
Yeah,
Braunschweiger,
you're tasting more of the liver.
Yeah, you're tasting more of the liver.
It's still good though. I mean,
still good.
I love a good liverwurst sandwich. That would have been if I did a top 5 liverwurst would have been on here, but I'm a good.
We went on a fishing trip once. One guy brought a sack of liverwurst on rye sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy bought a bunch of really nice sandwiches from a good Italian deli on Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
So he busts those out. The other guy goes, "Oh, I brought a bunch of liverwurst sandwiches, but I brought enough for everybody. But I know not everybody likes liverwurst." The poor guy who brought the fancy sandwiches, well, maybe not so poor because he went home with all of them.
He went home with all of them
because he said, "I've never seen this before. I've never seen this many people in one place that all like liverwurst."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we destroyed
liverwurst on rye bread with horseradish mustard and raw onion.
Leave the onion off, and I'm with you. You know that.
Give me that. No, I need a good crunch of the onion as I'm biting through the liverwurst. It's so good. Just like liver and onions, right? It's basically
Well, you know how I've told you before how I get if I want a crunch for a liverwurst sandwich.
You might have.
I put on a toasted English muffin.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you put on toasted English muffin.
And the best part about that is the toasted English muffin is about the same diameter as the liverwurst, so you don't have to do that whole thing where you're trying to get every bite even.
Yeah,
with round pieces. No, you just stack the damn thing.
Stack it. That's it. You stack it,
and then you get that horseradish mustard into the nooks and crannies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I tell you, it's the best.
I've never tried it. I'm gonna have to do that once.
You've got to do it. It's the best way because then you get that crunch with the creaminess of the liverwurst. That's my
and just like anytime I do happen to wander into McSorley's, other than getting 4 darks at a clip, I'm getting a liverwurst sandwich with onions, and I'm getting the cheese, onions, and crackers platter too.
Yeah. I think they just bring it, don't they?
Yeah, at some points of the day they actually do bring them over. Yeah.
They just bring. I went there once with Doug. I don't know, not the aforementioned Doug Edwards, but this guy Doug. Yeah. Johnny's met him, and we went there. He knows everybody there. As a matter of fact, when their patriarch passed away, I reached out to Doug, and he was in really bad shape because he was like part of their family. But we went there. I ordered 4 darks and 4. We ordered 4 darks and 4 lights. That's what Doug did. She tried to walk away. I said, "No, I want 4 of each as well."
Yeah, really.
And so they came back.
Those are for him. Yeah.
I'm not kidding. There's 16 beers sitting in front of us.
Mm.
And I can probably pinpoint the date because it's the date that they retired Jeter's jersey because we were watching the retirement ceremony on the. But this one lady who was watching and all of a sudden is paying attention to our table.
That was April-ish 2017, if I recall.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with dates. I was a history major. What do I know about dates?
But as a Mets fan, of course, I know when they retired Derek Jeter.
Of course you did. But she said, and then she watches us, and then just after all 16 beers are gone, she goes, I didn't think you guys were going to be able to drink all that beer. Secondly, I didn't realize you'd drink them that quickly. Like, yeah, hold on. And the waitress came around. We were another round.
They're
only this big.
Yeah, if you're not aware, they're not big beers.
They're about what, 6 to 8 ounces?
6 ounces.
6 ounces. They're 6 ounce beers.
6 ounces.
So we've got 48 ounces of beer sitting in front of us. And we each of us drank about 96 ounces, at least 96 ounces of beer while we're sitting there. Mm-hmm. We were pre-gaming a concert. Oh, actually, it wasn't this concert, it was this band.
Well, there you go.
So this was from their last tour, Midnight Oil. But we went and saw them.
How do we sleep while our Earth is turning?
We'd sleep a lot worse if it stopped.
That's true. Actually, how do we dance while our Earth is turning? How do we sleep while our beds are burning? Right?
Yes, that's how it goes.
Gotcha. Brian Boak just commented in, said, "My brother is bringing me up some smoked bologna. Was he already doing that, or did you call him while we're talking about food just now?" I'm just curious. That's awesome. Love it.
Is this like from the Amish country? Because that's where it's the best bologna in the Northeast comes from.
Yeah.
Amish. Because people, the Amish, the Pennsylvania Dutch, and then, the Pennsylvania Dutch are not Dutch. They're German. Because it's because everyone mistook Deutsch for Dutch. Yeah. So Pennsylvania Dutch are actually German. So that's why the best German bologna comes from there.
Exactly. So cool. All right. Well, this was a fun.
Yes.
Fun with just the two of us.
Despite the fact that I had no alcohol.
Despite the fact that you had no alcohol and I only had 2.
You only had 2.
There you go, bub.
So,
all right, got a lot of good. Go ahead.
Hopefully next week I'll be back on the wagon.
Off the wagon.
Back off the wagon.
You'll be back off the wagon.
Okay.
Give the liver time to recover from the trip and.
No, well, it's not. It's not that.
Yeah, no, I know.
It was the accident in Prague.
Yeah, gotcha.
So those who don't know, I spent 2 full days in a Cold War era Czech hospital. But
that's a story
for another
day.
Yes, and that's why the tag under me says, "But did you die?" No,
there you go.
Don't think I did.
There you go. And Brian Repoke just said he smoked it himself before. He's already in upstate New York. We'll be here Friday. Mayfish at Seaside Heights on Sunday.
There you go.
Brian, I would say I would meet you, but I'll be in Vermont.
Hey, Johnny.
Yes. Sunday around 11:30, I plan on being seated at Schilling in New Hampshire, drinking.
And actually, I'm not jealous. I'm actually excited for Johnny. This will be his first time there.
I have not been. It's first time I'm going to Schilling. Yes.
Yeah. And it is.
Brad said it was worth a shot. There you go.
But Schilling.
I would definitely, honestly, would have definitely met you had I not been going to Vermont.
But if one of our top 3 was the top 3 favorite places to sit and drink a beer, and that was on my list.
It was on your list, so I'm gonna.
I think it was the top of my list, John.
It was your number 1. It was your number 1. So I will see where it falls into my list and massages its way into one of the spots on my list too. But
yes, I think they are doing lagers and pilsners so damn well up there,
and to just like firm everything up with lagers and pilsners that day on the way back to Burlington from Schilling, we're going to get off 89 and scooch up to Stowe and go to Von Trapp.
On top. The hills are alive.
With the sound of lagers
and pilsners. Yes.
Anyway, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun. With more on that next week, which is why we're doing the show on Wednesday next week, because I won't be back till Tuesday. We're doing a show on Wednesday next week. Fun show next week. Good show the following week, the 14th of May. Is what we were talking about before. It's going to be a show on beer mail and beer by mail, if you will.
Beer by mail. That's to be more specific, mail order beer. Because
mail order beer. Mail order beer, not beer order mail.
Yeah,
no. Mail order beer. Right? Yes, I got it.
Yes, because beer mail could also be you've done a trade or
something,
and maybe one day we'll do a show along those lines.
Mm-hmm. And Doug just said, road trip to Brewdog in Columbus, party in the Elvis Suite. There you go.
Columbus is a good.
It's about 9 hours. 9 hours. 9 to 10 hours.
Yeah, 9 to 10 hours from here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could Uber that.
It might be an expensive.
You could.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, it was probably longer for Johnny than it would be for me.
To Columbus, now it's actually shorter for me than you.
Is it for you?
Yes, I just have to scooch right across 195, down a couple miles into the Pennsylvania Turnpike and out.
And out. Let's see. For me, it is.
Doug said 8 hours.
Oh yeah. That's right. I'm thinking it's.
It's 5.5 hours. It's 5.5 hours to Pittsburgh from me.
It's 8.5 for me.
Yeah, so it's about 7.5, 8 hours from me. Probably 8 hours. Probably solid 8 hours from me.
8.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
For Johnny. Let's see, Belmar, New Jersey would be only about 15 minutes less.
There you go. So, all right.
No, it depends upon the traffic in Allentown for me. But then again, you're going to Philadelphia.
Correct. Well, no, I'm going north of Philly. I'm in the PH Turnpike.
Yeah.
Scooch around the top. Yeah.
Our paths would come together at Harrisburg.
Right. Yeah, you'd be going down 78 and couldn't meet together. Whoop, Mike. There we go.
Everything okay over there?
Yeah, it's fine. So, anyway, all right, but a lot of good shows coming up. A couple good show the following week after that. A lot of good stuff on the way. And tomorrow night at 6:30 on the End of Chaser Facebook page. You want to check that out as well. It's the next edition of the End of Chaser podcast. Dave will be on as well. Probably not the whole thing. Still not drinking, but he'll be on. Myself and the Beer Whisperer will Beer and Whiskey Whisperer combined for this particular show that we do. And then if you're interested in sports, you can follow the Get On With It Sports podcast after that. We're doing our annual draft show tomorrow night.
Oh boy.
There you go. What's the booze, Doug? You'll have to tune in tomorrow night to find out. There you go.
The thing that sucks is I won't be drinking when I think.
If you read between the lines, Doug, that means we didn't decide yet. That's what that means.
Oh, good, because what we originally decided on was my idea, and I won't be drinking.
No. We're holding that off for you.
Okay, good.
Tom and I are going back and forth to come up with a different plan for tomorrow, and we're holding yours. What we were going to do tomorrow night with you. We're holding that to the next show.
Okay, I like that. Okay.
So, anyway, all right. Well, on that note, we will wrap the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lageroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. It's where you can get all of our articles that are written, all of the links to all of the social media and audio podcasts and everything else. Check it out right there. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, X, which used to be Twitter, and Twitch every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser, Listen Notes, pretty much anywhere you can find an audio podcast, you will find the Lager Room Guys Craft Beer Podcast. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we will talk to you next week. Well, next Wednesday. So 8 days. And Chuck Aaron just toasted. There you go. Thank you. Cheers, Chuck. Thank you. Like I said, drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we'll talk to you next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Ciao.
Prost.
I'm going to say ciao because in Italy and Czech Republic, they all say ciao.
Enjoy, Brian. Ciao, yes.
I don't know why.
Chindan.
Just ciao. They all say ciao.
Yeah, that'll work. Maybe they're hungry.
I'm hungry. I want solid food.